We like to think addiction is a modern problem, a glitch of glowing screens, fast food, and cheap dopamine. It isn't. Long before the first city, before writing, before the wheel, humans were already chasing the buzz. The same buzz. The same brain. Some of the oldest things our ancestors dug up, fermented, chewed, and burned weren't food or medicine. They were highs. So tonight we open a very old file and ask what a Stone Age brain was already hooked on. The answer is uncomfortably familiar. Welcome to You High on Info. If you've seen our file on why addiction is so hard to quit, you already know the villain, dopamine, the brain's prediction chemical. Here's the part that should give you chills. That system isn't new. It's tens of thousands of years old, and it came fully installed in every human who ever lived. A caveman staring at a beehive and you staring at a notification are running the exact same circuit, a spark that says chase it, chase it, chase it. So our ancestors didn't get addicted because they were primitive. They got addicted because they were us, with a whole wild world to test the wiring on. Start with the oldest high of all, and it's older than humanity itself. It might be older than us as a species. Ripe fruit left too long ferments and gives off the faint smell of alcohol. Millions of years ago, that smell became a map. It meant sugar, calories, survival. Around 10 million years ago, one of our ape ancestors picked up a genetic tweak, a single enzyme upgrade that let it break down alcohol far more efficiently than before. Read that again. Our bloodline was quietly engineered to handle a buzz long before we were human. The taste for it is written into the body itself. Now fast forward to 11,000 years ago to a hilltop in what's now Turkey called Göbekli Tepe, a temple built by people who supposedly hadn't invented farming yet. Carved into the stone there are giant vats, and inside them chemical traces that look a lot like the residue of fermented grain. In other words, possibly the world's oldest beer, which flips a story you were taught in school. Some archaeologists now argue we didn't settle down to grow bread, we settled down to brew. Sit with that. Civilization itself might have a bar tab. The first thing that pinned wandering humans to one spot may have been the promise of the next batch. Then there are the plants, and our ancestors found the potent ones with terrifying speed. A Sumerian tablet from over 5,000 years ago names the opium poppy, with a symbol often translated as the joy plant. On the other side of the world, people in the Andes were chewing coca leaves for a mild lift 8,000 years ago, and across Asia and the Pacific, humans have chewed the stimulant betel-nut for around 13,000 years. Archaeologists find it in the stains left on ancient teeth, a habit so old it's fossilized in people's smiles. These weren't rare experiments. They were some of the most widespread human habits on the planet, passed down for hundreds of generations before anyone wrote a single word. And it wasn't only the heavy hitters. Our gentlest daily fixes are ancient too. Caffeine, the most used mind-altering substance alive today, hooked people thousands of years ago through tea leaves and cacao. The people of Mesoamerica prized cacao so highly they used it as money, and gave its plant a name that literally means food of the gods. They weren't wrong about how the brain would feel about it. High in the mountains of Central Asia, mourners 2,500 years ago packed wooden braziers with cannabis and breathed the smoke at funerals. And a Greek traveler named Herodotus described steppe warriors doing the very same thing, howling with delight inside their smoke-filled tents. Every buzz you think of as modern already has an ancient ghost. We didn't invent getting high. We inherited it. But here's the twist, and it's the whole point. The strongest ancient addictions might not have been substances at all. Sweetness, for one. An 8,000-year-old painting in Spain shows a tiny human dangling from vines to raid a wild beehive, risking a swarm of stings for a mouthful of honey, the oldest sugar rush caught on a cave wall. And risk itself. Our ancestors carved dice out of animal knucklebones and gambled with them for thousands of years, feeding on the exact same, maybe, that runs a modern slot machine, the flutter of what if I win. Sugar, risk, alcohol, the plants, different keys, one lock. Each of them slips into that ancient dopamine slot and whispers the oldest command the brain knows. Do it again. So what does 13,000 years of human buzz actually tell us? Not that we are broken. The opposite. It means addiction was never a modern weakness or a personal flaw. It's the price of admission for a brain brilliant enough to learn, to predict, to chase. The same brain that hunted honey also built the temple, the calendar, and the microscope that finally explained the craving. The wiring that got your ancestors high is the wiring that got you here. Understanding it is how we finally turn the machine to our side. If you want more of what's really happening inside your own head, this is the channel for it. I'll see you in the next file.